Well, hello. Welcome back to another Podcastle.
Oh, you managed it, darling, without appeering too surprised.
Well, I'm kind of surprised that we're still here.
What's still here in the chateau, you mean?
Still here in the chateau, still functioning after a couple of days of DIYing.
Yeah. Wow.
Everything hurts. Every single part of me hurts. I rolled over in bed this morning and like everything went crack, 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 crunch.
I know, I heard.
I guess you were. It's true.
Yeah, so we are recovering DIYers.
Yeah, so we had another 2 days filming for Chateau DIY.
Yeah.
And I feel like we did a lot more this time.
It does feel like that, doesn't it? I wonder why that was. Do you think, is it because no, hang on a minute. How many have we done now? 2?
We've done...
This is the 3rd one.
Yeah, that was the 3rd trip. 3rd set of 2 days, yeah.
Is it 3rd set of 2 days?
Yeah.
Is it really?
It is.
Goodness. Is it really?
Sometimes zooming along.
Goodness gracious.
We've got to get the room finished.
Yeah, I know.
To speed up a bit.
Do you think so?
Yeah.
I can't speed up much more. We've been here for 3.5 years and done a thing.
I know.
Now suddenly half the chateau's done.
Suddenly got deadlines. It's it's a bit of a shock to the system. Like something that would normally and R over for about 6 months. They're like, right, we can come next week. I'm like, oh, okay.
So we both adopt the sort of like the scream painting. It's like, hands go to your cheeks and your mouth opens and go.
No, it's good. This is keeping us going because
Let's keep us going.
We need deadlines.
Yeah, no, absolutely. I work much better to deadlines, definitely. And also, there's something really good about being much more organised, certainly in terms of ordering things that we need, like switches and plugs and things like
And
that.
toilets, which then arrive a week late.
I do not. I want somebody to explain to me, and this is.
This is not a bash at the French.
It's not a bash at the French. It's a bash at their delivery systems. I've never experienced anything so incredibly unreliable.
Well, because we ordered this toilet on Amazon and it was supposed to arrive, this time last week, wasn't it, originally? And which was going to be well in time for doing stuff with it.
Yeah, well, it was going to arrive. Yeah, it was going to arrive in time for us to be able to begin installing it.
Yeah.
For our friends at Chateau DIY.
And instead, it's just arrived this morning.
It arrived this morning, and they've gone. Yeah.
So brilliant. I don't think we would have got it done anyway. There's too much else to do, but.
You wouldn't have finished it, but you could have started it.
Yeah,
you could definitely have started it.
Yeah, I spent several days, that awful thing of just hanging around all day waiting for the doorbell.
But I don't understand why it doesn't work. I mean, it seems to work in most other countries. There we go, Prime example. Amazon Prime, you pay, I don't know, whatever it is, £90, dollars, euros a year to get next day delivery for free. And I've never had next day delivery in this country, or have we?
Might have done, only on something that's like so small that it can...
Or like a little envelope,
yeah.
But most Prime deliveries are not Prime deliveries at all. And, it really is on a wing and a prayer as to when you will actually receive it.
It's funny, you get very used to being very comfortable in the big cities and having everything just arrive when it says it will arrive. And then here, suddenly it's just like, it'll turn up at some point. And you're just like,
well, you have to just give in, don't you? Because there's no point, really.
Well, there's no point in getting yourself all worked up about it. It's a wasted energy.
But I like getting myself worked up about it. I want to be... Who was it? It was Kenny Everett in the UK, who used to be Mr. Angry of Mayfair. And I am Mr. Angry of Laverne.
Okay, well, you be Mr. Angry. I want to be calm.
You'll
Let
be...
these things wash over me, not be...
nothing ever will get done.
Well... That's such a bad thing.
Well, thankfully, I managed to phone the delivery company, which that in itself is almost impossible anywhere else, really. You can't phone them, can you?
No.
But there was a phone number, so I phoned them up, and I was unnaturally, for me anyway, apologetic for telephoning them. I said, in French, I said, "Oh, hello. I do apologise for phoning. I'm really most terribly sorry for bothering you.
Could you possibly deliver the thing that I ordered more than a week ago?
But on your website, it says that my toilet has been sitting in your warehouse for 3 days, and I was wondering if you might possibly consider, I'd hate to disturb your
Too much trouble.
morning coffee. Yes, possibly stick it on a van and deliver it." And he was absolutely charming, mainly because I was so incredibly subservient, which really goes against the grain for me. And he said, "Yes, sir, I could deliver it to you tomorrow morning. Would that be okay?" And that would be wonderful. Thank you so much. Oh my God, I'm going to write to the family about this. This is fabulous. Everybody I know, I go to show off about it. It's wonderful. And I talk about it in my Podcastle.
You'll not be impressed.
Anyway, so it's just arrived, which is extraordinary.
Great.
So do you think that's the answer?
What, grovel? Be really nice and really sort of like, "Please, sir."
I don't think I've ever been grovelled.
No, it's not.
I did
it's not
yesterday, though.
It worked, so maybe you've been missing out.
It worked. Oh, do you think so? What, more grovelling gets things done?
More sort of like, fake niceness, get stuff done.
That's a good strapline, isn't it? Grovel your way to getting things done.
Listen to my 10-step podcast program on
Grovelling.
grovel.
Yes. I'm an expert groveller now.
Anyway.
Should we talk about something more interesting?
Well, yeah, I was going to say, because you were out this morning, I was waiting for the toilet again this morning whilst you were out filming.
I was, yeah.
Which is quite interesting.
Now, in a previous episode, we had a chap came and helped cut holes for the sockets in the salon where we're sitting now. And he had a wonderful machine, and it was a really delightful chap, actually. Didn't want pain or anything, which is always a bonus.
Yeah, that's nice. My favourite kind of worker.
And anyway, so he is a carpentry. Well, they call them Professor Poff here, but he's a teacher, isn't he, at a carpentry school. And so in my mind, I imagine like small classroom, a couple of saws,
Little
workbench,
shed.
little shed.
Yeah, somebody's garage, that sort of thing.
How wrong was I? I was so wrong.
But the reason you went there is because he is doing the gate for us, because we have as well as the metal front gate where you can drive in, we've got a wooden gate that was an old entrance that goes out to the woods. And it was completely rotten, and it's obviously been completely rotten for many, many years. But he's offered to do it for us for just... Yeah, which is fantastic.
Which is fabulous.
Yeah. So they've taken
but he's doing it as, as a project for his students, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
So anyway, so he started on it. And so I spoke to him and I said, I have to come, I want to come and film. I've got, stop, don't make it. So he said, don't worry, it'll take a while. So he said, come. And so I went early this morning, and he came to get me at the gate, and you couldn't see the building from the gate. I walked in and he went, so there it is. Literally, imagine somebody with both hands, spreading their hands out and going, here it is. And there it was, this massive warehouse.
Yeah.
And the roof was like a number of V's, all attached together. And I looked at him, I went, what? He went, yep, this used to be a warehouse built in the 1960s. And it actually looked great, it looked like a fantastic place to have a rave. And so it's all been redone for the school.
Amazing.
And it was enormous. I don't know how big. I guess maybe 4,000 square feet.
About the same size as here.
I don't know what square feet are actually. The meter, I don't know. Anyway, it was enormous. It was, I guess you could describe it as probably about 1.5, possibly 2 English football pitches.
I haven't spent any time at football pitches. I don't know what they look like.
What other term could it? What, swimming?
London buses.
London buses. How many? Oh, that's a lot, man. London buses. Forget it. Anyway, it's big, and but all these workstations, they're probably about 50 workstations, and they're all working on like benches, and then accompanied by the workstation, there's this sort of incredibly expensive wood cutting machinery, all comparatively brand new, and all these kids, from sort of, I guess, from the age of 14 up to 18, all working on different projects. So there were
girls there, or is it all boys?
Oh,
I only saw boys in the video that you.
Yeah, there weren't many. There were girls actually. There were probably like 2 or 3. But they were mainly boys. Yeah, they were. And but I was, as we say in England, gobsmacked. I mean, it was what a thing. So I met 3 of these young guys who were working on our project, and there's another one, but he wasn't there. And I was talking to them, and they're doing a 3-year course.
3 years?
3-year course.
Wow.
And they live there. They're like interns. They live there.
Yeah.
They eat there.
Yeah.
There's a sports hall. There's a library, and I guess there's.
So it's just like a campus, but
it is absolutely a campus. Yeah.
It's for carpentry.
For carpentry, but there were different kinds of carpentry. So there was an area where they were learning how to make like bits of furniture. There was an area where like they were doing there was our double gates, and there was somebody else's gate, and they had full size chicken coops. Houses, which I said to him, I said, "Oh my lord, my wife, Claire, don't you?" He went, "Yep." I said, "She wants chickens." And then the other guy, so a really delightful short chap, came along, and he went, "Oh, you like chicken houses?" It's all in French. He went. He said, "Oh, we have the chicken house. We call it the Carlton." Now, the Carlton is the hotel in Cannes, right? Which is a very, very posh hotel in Cannes, where all the movie stars stay during the Cannes Film Festival. And I went, "Oh, the Carlton! I know Carlton. I did a picture story about the Carlton many years ago." He went, "Well, you need to see the Carlton chicken coop." I went, "Oh, I want to see that. Yes." And then he turned to me, the guy that we know, turned to me, he said, "Well, it's a bit old, it's been outside for a while. To be honest with you, if you're prepared to take it away, you can have it for nothing." I went, "Oh, no." So anyway, a 10-minute walk to go and have a look at it. I took some pictures and brought it back and showed you and said, "Well, we can have this."
Well, there's a story here about chicken houses.
Unfortunately. Yes,
because a long time ago, when we lived in North Devon and we had a bit of space. Well, no, I got it when we were in Peckham.
Yeah, you did.
So this is when we were in South London before we moved to North Devon. We had a big garden. And back when we used to have money, before we bought a chateau.
We're never going to have money again. You realise that, don't you?
Yeah. At a charity auction, I bought.
It was an auction.
Yeah, it was. I bought a chicken house. Wooden chicken house that had been decorated personally by Sophie Conran of the Conran family of designers of beautiful things.
Habitat, etc.
And I was and the Conran shop and such.
Conran shop.
And I was delighted with this thing, and it had these lovely splodges. It'd been done by her. I was over the moon. And then
flowers, wasn't it, on a white? So the chicken house was white.
White with like pink and orange splodgy flowers. It was really nice. I loved it. So we managed to move it to Devon
I know you loved it.
by getting it over a wall. But then when we left Devon, because we were going into a rental for a bit, there was nowhere to put it. So I had to leave it behind. And
Oh no, there was a little wavering in your voice.
I'm sad about this. This is, it's an expensive chicken house as well, and it never saw any chickens. I never got around to having the actual chickens in it.
No, I know.
So if we got this one,
Terrible waste of money.
it was. So if we got this one for free,
Trust me.
I could paint it in the style of.
Oh, Sophie Conrad.
Let's see if I can send her.
Where are we? But where are we going to hide the Sophie Conrad masterpiece?
Round the back of one of the outbuildings would be a good chicken space, because then we can make a run for them.
Couldn't we paint it sort of like minimalist, like camouflage it in some way?
No, I'm sorry. Chicken house or nothing.
No, or we could do it in like army green, camouflage.
No.
That was quite serious. No, you're really quite serious about this. God grief. Is there a point at which I get to do something I'd like to do or not?
There absolutely is.
When is that then?
Whenever you like. Come on, pick a room, go decorate it.
Not the chicken house or the craft room.
Yes. Craft room is my room, and I think it's gorgeous.
I think it is gorgeous as well. Hang on.
We've got comments on that. So actually,
I took some nice pictures of your craft room last night.
I'm going to post them on Instagram today.
Really nice.
So this was after the somewhat controversy of the strong colour in my craft room. So Wendy Maybury says, is it Wendy Maybury or is it Wendy Maybury? Whatever. She says, hey, what is even more gorgeous is shocking pink and orange.
Don't put ideas in her head, for God's sake.
Because I do need some curtains. We could have orange curtains.
Don't need curtains.
Do you? When it gets round to winter and it's all cold and dark, make it cosy.
And you're going to have what?
Orange.
What kind? Orange?
Orange curtains.
With just orange curtains?
Yeah, just orange curtains. Don't want to overdo it. Don't go over the top.
God forbid you should want to overdo the colours or anything. It's so out of character.
And Susie Monk says, I love it. Your craft room, your rules. One of your first tasks in there should be a keep out sign.
God. Yeah, but I know what she's like.
So I'm going to put a keep out sign. Keep you out of my craft room.
It's not very nice.
No, but you could have a man cave or...
I don't want a man cave. What on earth am I going to put in a man cave?
I don't know, man stuff.
Like what?
I don't know.
I'm not really a man, am I? Do you know what I mean? I like art.
Yeah, but you
like art, I like photography.
You like train sets and Thunderbird toys as well.
That's true, I suppose. Yeah.
You could have a room for all your
Do you honestly think I still want to play with a train set? I'm 65. Actually, Rod Stewart does, doesn't he?
I was going to say, yes, you do. And Rod Stewart's got like a whole room for his train set.
I know.
You could do the whole loft. Can you imagine?
Oh, wow.
That'd be an epic train set.
There was a fantastic train set at the London toy store called Hamleys, and he used to go around I think it was on the first floor, just go all the way around, and you just like stand in one spot and watch it, and it used to go, or maybe that was in my imagination. Anyway, and then you used to wait, and it would just come around. It's gorgeous, lovely.
See?
Yeah, well, he's obviously reawakened.
I will let you do that.
I don't really. Do you know? I know. Tracy Island.
Okay. What, by the swimming pool?
Yeah.
Trees that go by.
Palm trees. Yeah. Thunderbird 2.
Yeah.
Palm trees going down. Thunderbird 2 with the sound effects. That'd be ridiculous. I don't want this. No, I don't want this. I just want it's a good idea.
Yeah.
But honestly, what kind of person suggests that you should put a keep out sign, to keep your husband out? I mean,
they're on my side.
Clearly that woman is a mad, raging feminist.
Nothing wrong with that.
No, nothing wrong with that. But apart from saying keep your husband out, it's a ridiculous thing to suggest. Horrible, aggressive, nasty, don't like you.
Well, I do. Thank you, Susie. So what?
What, are you going to put a keep out sign outside your craft room?
No, you are welcome in my craft.
Thank you. I just think
As
so
long as
too.
you don't make a mess. Or put any of your
Oh yes, absolutely. Well, I'm gonna come in and I'm just gonna throw everything around and go, ha ha, so there. Back into my man cave with my Thunderbird toys and palm trees, and I'm making sound effects. Thunderbirds are a go. Do you know, I think madness is actually setting in now. I think.
Probably. Do you think it's the dust? Do you think there's something in the walls that has all the lead paint?
I don't know. Does lead paint make you go mad? It might do, I suppose.
Yeah, it's not good. We are careful. Anyway, we are sensible with the lead paint, actually.
Yeah, we lick it off.
And Norma Murray says, absolutely beautiful pair. The pink suits a lovely Chateau. Other Chateau vlogs I watch, there are 3 of them that have almost that same colour.
Oh, God, darling, was it not original?
I thought I was being original.
Oh, gracious. Oh, no, we're going to have to go and choose another colour. Maybe we could paint it orange. Your face.
Don't give me ideas.
No, I when you first suggested it and when I saw it, I was horrified. But actually, I mean, I wouldn't choose that colour, but it's not my room, so it's up to you. But actually, it does. I don't know why, but it reminds me of a Biba store in London when I was a kid. It was all the rage, that store. It was in High Street, Kensington, in the old Barker's building. And it was amazing, this store. It was real, like, 70s, late 60s, 70s style. And I reckon that you would have loved it because you were a goth, weren't you? And it was very goth-like. And all the colours in the store were quite dark. And my memory of it was that there was a lot of purple, like, in that room. In there, and there was lots of sort of like Andy Warhol and all sorts of like of the current on trend. I didn't need to use that expression. Trendy artists, and it was a fabulous shop. It's just amazing. So you would have loved that. So that's what it reminds me of, actually.
For me, it looks like the inside of a Quality Street tub.
The outside, surely.
No, the inside, because it's purple inside as well. So, like, if you were trapped inside a Quality Street tub, that's what it would feel like.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think so.
I'm not going to say a thing, despite wanting to. Does everybody know what a Quality Street tin is?
I don't know. Do they have them
worldwide? I don't think so. I don't think you have them in America.
We will have to look that up. If not, they are a selection tub of chocolates, which is very traditional to get at Christmas, and they come in a purple tub. They used to come in a big tin. Now they come in a small purple tub. They've got smaller over the years.
Made of plastic, which is ridiculous. And also, the other thing which is outrageous is that the wrappers used to be like a plastic wrapper with and foil and really, really shiny. So when you opened it, it was like I don't know, certainly to children's eyes, it was amazing. It was like sort of like treasure in there, and they replaced it all with sort of like matte paper. And it was really, I was just waxed. It was dreadful. Try and be eco-friendly, for goodness sake.
Actually, what my brother used to do when we'd have them at Christmas, because you had the foil and the plastic wrapper, if you were very careful, you could eat the chocolate and then like reconstruct the wrapper to make it look like there was a chocolate and then put it back in the tub. So somebody would think there were more in there than there really was.
Do you think that's where the beginnings of his criminal life began?
Probably, yeah. It's a massive fraud problem that he has from stealing sweets and stuff. Absolutely.
I think that explains an awful lot about your brother.
And this is the test to see whether he's still listening to us or not. Right, there's a comment here in French, so I'll let you do that one.
Oh, can't see. Glasses. It's very funny. So Martine XS5ZD, strange number, says, Lionel, I laughed when you said that you went off and had a pee on the side of the road.
Oh, no.
when we went on our seaside walk.
Yeah.
But I did make a point of going behind the bush. Thank you very much.
Unfortunately, we didn't see that there was like a path on the other side.
I know. And then, as I was doing my business, it was just like a whole crowd of people were walking up behind me. And, and they were French, were totally unfazed by the whole thing. I just walked straight past.
Absolutely normal behaviour.
I said, I'm British, leave me alone. Stop it. So she said she thought that was really funny. Oh, yeah, I thought it was quite funny as well. And she says, and there you go. You see, you've been converted into a true Frenchman, being on the side of the road.
You were behind a bush. You weren't like fully in the open.
No. So it felt like an ambush. Sorry.
Dear me.
And then she said, how do you do it in England when you're caught short, when you have an urgent requirement? Well, fairly simply, is you go and find a bush and you go and stand behind the bush or behind a tree, or you don't stand in front of your car facing the oncoming traffic, which is what they do here.
That's our point, yeah.
That's what we're saying, right? Is you don't, You
can be discreet, but if you're just, waggling it around.
I was going to avoid using that phrase, but yes, absolutely. No, well, And so, yes. And then she says, you guys obviously got an enormous advantage. That's very kind of you to say so, compared to the ladies.
Yeah, you did. God, sorry. Yeah, it took me a while to catch up there. Yeah, you had life much easier.
Oh, come on. It's all just a bit of fun, isn't it? And then she also says, which is good, because I did make a comment about your craft room as being remarkably similar to a tart's boudoir.
Yes.
Right. And then she says, but nevertheless, the boudoir is magnificent. Original colour, as we've discovered, it isn't, but perfect in a sunny room. Although you could put a very nice sofa in there, which could give you some naughty ideas. I don't know what kind of people you think we are.
I am shocked and appalled.
Bloody good idea.
Orange velvet.
Oh yeah. I know. I'd go with that. Yeah. Oh, we've got the orange, modern orange sofas in the orange.
Yeah,
a bit big though.
Most of the room though. Then there wouldn't be any room for craft room anymore. So.
Well, we could call it the tart's boudoir.
We're going to have to do another different room as craft room.
Oh, good grief. The whole place is going to look like something sort of like 1960s. Anyway, that'd be cool, wouldn't it?
Cool. It's going to be cool. Don't worry. It's going to be good.
No, it'll be fine. I know. I actually do like the room. I like what you're doing. I like the fact that you're putting all your plants in there because I don't like indoor plants. And I'm very, very pleased.
Yeah. I just need to find the right piece of furniture to go in there now. To put all my stuff in.
Right bit of furniture.
To put ferns on the top. This is a good point.
Are there any more comments?
No, well, they're all actually, I realised because I went through and did a selection of comments, and actually I've chosen all the ones that tell me how great the colour is and how much they love it. So
okay, well, we're bored of that now, aren't we? So
I think we've probably talked ourselves out for today, haven't we?
No, we haven't. No, we've got a few things to talk about. I have a list here, which I think is quite interesting. Is that our reaction to because we love looking at property websites. We just love looking at property for sale websites
all the time,
and certainly looked at the estate agents that we bought Laverne through all the time, because they have some amazing chateaus and properties on that. I mean, absolutely beautiful. But how do we react now?
Now, well, I saw one this morning, actually. I saw one which was a convent in Portugal. Massive.
What? Not on
that.
Oh, right, okay.
Somewhere else. Absolutely massive, huge, bit of estate, loads of beautiful rooms, 800,000 euros. A few years ago, I would have gone, oh, we could do that.
Let's do that.
Just imagine what you could do with all that space. We could do this, we could do that, we could do that. And then this time I'm like, no, I don't think I'm allowed to do that.
Walk away.
Walk away.
Walk away. Just look at it and go, which fool is going to get involved in that?
I saw another one which was in Wales, and it was an old...
Well, that's never going to happen, is it?
Far too much weather. And it was an old fort, and it's absolutely massive, and it was on for like 400,000. It's like,
Did it have crenellated walls?
It was star-shaped. The entire fort was star-shaped.
Tell me about this, yeah.
Absolutely amazing.
But what sort of era do you think? Middle Ages?
No.
Oh, not right.
No, like, Second World War or something like that.
Oh, I see. Yeah. Oh, really? Oh, so quite contemporary, really. Yeah.
And it looked amazing, like massive, huge space.
But not crenellated, because I want to be able to do that.
Yeah, no.
I've told them we have a holy grail already.
No, it's not really the setting for it. It's not that kind.
No,
I'll find the pictures again and show it to you.
Okay.
But yeah, looking at that, and originally would have gone, I'm brave enough to take on a project like that, and now I'm just like, no. Exactly.
No. I just go no.
I've learned my lesson now.
Do you think I think we've hit our limit in terms of size of house, haven't we?
Yeah, and what we can manage. I think.
Yeah.
God. Anything more than this.
Well, we can't really manage this.
No,
to be honest.
It's slightly feasible, but anything more than this.
Oh, forget it. Way. Yeah, exactly. No. Well, I mean, without people working for you, without staff, I mean, forget it. And then the other thing, we came up with this sort of fabulous line, which was that we are frugal with furniture.
Yes, yeah.
And I think we are, and actually, having moved the gold cabinet into the salon.
You mean frugal as in not putting too much furniture in a room, not being...
No, I spent a fortune on furniture, but in terms of number of bits of furniture, I can't afford to spend a fortune, but I would love to be able to. But no, it's the actual having a room with some beautiful bits of furniture that you really, really enjoy looking at. But for me, I think for both of us actually, because we talked about this a lot, is being able to move around the furniture in a room. So the idea of putting a sofa against a wall. Yeah. If you've got the room to be able to put it in the middle of the room, so you can walk behind the sofa and walk around all your furniture, then there's a real nice feel to that, isn't there? Yeah,
it's very much a luxury, isn't it, to have the space to do that. But also, because we've got the space, you can't just fill it. You've got to be careful.
It's a big mistake filling it. Big mistake, because it's very easy to fill it. And I think that's what's happened with this.
With the gold cabinet.
Yeah, because our intention was always to put a mirror on that wall, to bounce light around off that mirror over there above the fireplace. But to keep it comparatively... not minimalistic, but like very, very few bits of furniture. Yeah. Really, you come in here, you sit down in front of the fire.
There's a coffee table.
That's it.
And that's it.
And that's it, right? But now we actually have, I suppose you could call it a sort of functional bit of furniture because it displays things. And I love my gold cabinet.
But
I'm not sure it's in the right place.
No. I'm not sure it's in the right place. I think it will move.
And this is ridiculous, isn't it? We cannot work out where to put it.
I know, it's crazy. Massive house. But this piece of furniture has travelled around with us for many years. And it always used to be the problem of it's too big to go anywhere. Yeah. And now we were talking about putting it in the hall and it looks too small.
It's too small. It's too small. And you've got to realise that our conversation... when you live in a chateau, the conversation becomes ludicrous, right?
Absolutely.
We sound like a couple of mad people. Yeah. We can't put the gold cabinet here in in the hallway, in the vestibule, because we want to put an enormous piece of art on one wall.
Yeah.
And so that means that we can't put that in there.
And also it would look a bit lost in there. It would be too small for this.
It would be too small. It would be like putting a matchbox. Anyway, no, it wouldn't, but I mean, but there you go. And you've got to tell people about it. I thought this is so funny, is that you remembered, yesterday you remembered our very first handshake.
Yes, because I can't really talk about why yesterday, because we were filming for Chateau DIY, but there was a handshake involved yesterday, which may become clear in about a year's time if it makes it onto the telly. But yeah, I remembered that the first time we met I remember exactly where I was sitting, and you walked into the shop and shook my hand. And I remember shaking your hand for the first time and sort of like in my head going, oh, he's nice. But I do, like one of those clear memories. You have certain memories which are just absolutely clear. I remember that exactly. This was in a high street chain of photo processing, whatever's they're called. And I was sat at the machine printing out people's holiday snaps. And then you walked in and I sort of swiveled around in my little swivel chair, and I was wearing white glove, I think, and you shook your hand and said, hello, nice to meet you. Little did I know that all these years later, I'd be rattling around in a big old chateau.
You got an awful lot of attention from me opening a studio in there. I'll tell you, I spent my life in that shop. Everybody else was ignored.
Very pleased too. It worked out all right in the end, didn't it?
Yeah, it did work out all right in the end. Yeah, you're absolutely right. So there you go. I think, I think we're done this week, boys and girls.
Yeah, so we better get on with getting an episode out.
Yes.
For tomorrow.
Yes.
Yeah. Which will probably mostly be about the gate, I think.
Mostly be about the gate, and a few bits and bobs of things that we've been up to. But it was good fun doing the Chateau DIY. They were very, very, actually, we did do more, didn't we?
Felt like we did more. Maybe we're just getting the hang of it.
Yeah. So
thank you for listening or watching, or however you are doing this.
or both.
And we will see you next week.
You will indeed. Have fun. Take care. God bless.
Bye.
Bye.